Alright, so I'm gonna do a little build blog here. I haven't done like a proper one of these in, I don't think ever actually, but I'm gonna be making Conquering Clown. This is the two-wheel drive overhead horizontal clown bot from the BattleBots Proving Ground, and I'm gonna be doing this in honor of 50 subscribers. So I would just like to say before I really get into the meat and potatoes of this, thank you very much for 50 subscribers. That is literally the best Christmas gift you guys could have ever given me. So I'm gonna kind of do a little build blog. I'm gonna show off what I've done, talk about the actual CAD model that I make, and then I'm gonna show the process of this thing being built. So without further ado, I'm gonna kind of explain how this is gonna work. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print like a little net that goes over this chassis, and it's going to have a little hole for this motor right here. This is the same motor that is used in epilepsy warning over here, and it's also used in a top bot from Chaotic Robotics. So this weapon motor should have a decent amount of power in it, and I think if I attach that to like the little end and then put the actual spinner on it, this thing should be pretty strong. So that's really what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and check out my CAD model. Alright, so I've got the basic shape down for the shell. It's just going to fit over the regular build your own chassis. I got this little block right here that should mount on the top, and then there's a little hole right here in the front for the wires for the weapon motor. And I think I'm just going to hot glue the weapon motor right here, and then the actual clown is going to sit right up here. And I think this is pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing 3D printed. Alright, so we've got the chassis printed. It actually came out pretty well, which is really happy. I did have to take quite a couple supports off, but this thing is very nice. It is very big is my only issue, but I think if it's really big, it's really funny. So then it kind of just sits over here, and as you can see, it just barely is off the ground. So it should give it some really nice grounding in. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solder up this weapon motor, and I think glue it like right here. And then I'm going to design a weapon for this thing. So next thing you should probably see is this thing driving. Alright, so I've got the shape of the weapon here. It kind of looks, or hopefully should look like the real thing. I got the axe blades on the end, and then this is a little ring to kind of go around the motor. Hopefully it should fit very well, and it should be pretty powerful. So let's go ahead and get this 3D printed. Alright, I've got the weapon on this thing. Still drives pretty good. And it looks like the weapon is pretty powerful. Alright, that's very good. Alright, so what I gotta do now is I gotta CAD up the little clown base, and then I gotta figure out how to put a head and a rainbow wig on this thing. So I will let you know when I have done that. Alright, so I've got the body of this guy modeled. I got a head that I just pulled off of Thingiverse. I'm just gonna glue it right here on top of this little nub that I put here, and then I'm just gonna glue this thing down on top of the base, and then I'm gonna add in probably some hair, and then that will pretty much be it. So let's get this thing and the head 3D printed. Alright, so as you can see, I did get a little bit carried away. I printed the body and the head, and I kind of just painted it in assembler without documenting it, which I'm very sorry about. But look at this, it's done. Hexbug, mini Hexbug Conquering Clown. This thing is incredibly large for Hexbug. I can show you. Here is Agent P as an example. The size difference is absolutely insane. This is a giant robot. But to all those people who may be thinking, hey, that's way too big for a Hexbug, it's actually not. It's only 7 ounces compared to my heaviest robot, which is Exterminator. it is a full 1 ounce less than Exterminator. So this thing is it's only my second heaviest robot, but just for context, this is still a generally average weight for a hex plug. So I have to say that I'm absolutely blown away by how light this is. I'm so incredibly happy with how this turned out. It looks really good. My mother actually did the yarn hair, which I have to say a huge thank you to her for doing that. But this is probably my favorite robot that I've ever made. So without further ado, let's see how this thing actually does in the arena. So, before we close this video out, I would just like to say, once again, thank you very much for 50 subscribers. This video should also be going up on Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to all who celebrate. I'm going to try and get at least one more robot out to you guys before the end of the year. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.